Exclusive contracted novel by Feilu Novel Network. Shooting the Trisolarans at the beginning, the alien fleet is really here. After crossing into a parallel world, Luo Ji had only one idea. To take a triple body shot, earn a lot of money, and receive rewards. However, when he dissipated all his wealth and produced the first three-body movie. In the distant starry sky, two protons projected by extraterrestrial civilizations quietly arrived on Earth. Three-body film and television. I Luo Ji, speak to the three-body world. Alien civilization. He's talking to me, right? He must be talking to me. Three-body film and television. Ignorance is not an obstacle to survival, arrogance is. Alien civilization. I see, I learned it. Three-body film and television. The Dark Forest Law, Alien Civilization. Sigua E. Blue Star. Director Luo, did you still say that you made a movie? Next up. Luo Ji Foundation, monsters appear in the Blue Star, Luo Ji Cthulhu, unknown existence comes, Luo Ji Luo Ji. I'll make a hammer, not a movie anymore. I want to enter the anime industry, I want to make a superhero. So, the civilization of angels came. Blue Star. Brother, I beg you, really don't take photos. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. Pursuing Dreams and Rich Second Generation at the Beginning. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Luo Dao. Luo Dao. Sichuan, Jincheng. In a high-end villa area. A middle-aged man in a suit and leather shoes, bending over, cautiously spoke out to inquire. Across from her. A handsome young man is sitting on the sofa, rubbing his head with his hand and taking a nap with his eyes closed. Hear the words. The young man slowly lifted his head, as if he had not yet regained consciousness, and opened a pair of slightly confused eyes. Director Luo. The only scripts I can currently contact are these. The man in the suit leaned over with a pleasing smile and said, if you're still not satisfied. Then I suggest we go to various websites to take a look. In case. What good scripts are there? Script. The handsome young man did not answer immediately, but rubbed his temples, trying to sort out his chaotic thoughts. He. Luo Ji. Seems like. Crossing over. And it's still through a person with the same name and surname, and the company commander looks exactly the same. In scientific terms, this should be called crossing over to oneself in a parallel world. Luo Ji's eyes twitched. He never expected that he would encounter such a legendary thing as time travel. That's bullshit. That's outrageous. It's also amazing. Of course. It doesn't seem like a bad thing either. After all. Based on the memories in his mind, Luo Ji roughly understood his identity. His parents passed away, he inherited billions of dollars in wealth, and then was unwilling to live an ordinary life. He dreamed of becoming a world-class director, leaving a lasting impression on history. For this, he sold his property and prepared hundreds of millions of filming funds, ready to do a big job. Unfortunately, the first step of the long march, just searching for the script, almost ruined his previous achievements. A good script. He doesn't lack money, and he has long been targeted by major entertainment companies and top directors. It's not his turn to intervene. What about the scripts that can be purchased? He also despises the poor quality and thinks that what they wrote is a pile of shit. Anyway. After searching back and forth, he was stunned that he couldn't find a script that satisfied him and the other party was willing to sell him. Therefore. Repeated delays. I'm not in a hurry about this script for now. After clarifying the causes and consequences, Luo Ji shook his head and said. Ah. Director Luo, are we not going to make a movie anymore? The middle-aged man was taken aback for a moment, thinking that Luo Ji was about to give up the idea of making a movie, and his expression suddenly became nervous. His name is Zhao Ling, originally an optimized laid-off screenwriter who faced the dual pressure of parents and his wife and children. Fortunately, at this critical moment of impending collapse, Luo Ji appeared. This person is foolish and has a lot of money. No, this young and talented person with lofty aspirations. He doesn't want to be lowly, but invites him to come out and assist with a monthly salary of 30,000 yuan to jointly build a great cause. Therefore, Zhao Ling can be said to be the last person besides boss Luo Ji who wants this project to go viral. This project is running out, where is he looking for a job? Of course. To be fair, Zhao Ling is also well aware of the risks of this project and knows that it is likely to result in a loss and no return. During this period of time, he has been living a life of conscience and guilt, afraid that his own boss would go bankrupt while filming, and also afraid that this project would go wrong, causing him to become homeless. Therefore, he can only do his best to fill in the gaps, hoping that his boss cannot suffer such a heavy loss. But at this moment, my own boss has the idea of canceling this project. This made Zhao Ling feel both nervous and relieved for a moment. Luo Ji nodded, intending to announce the temporary suspension of this film project with a heavy heart. After all, billions of funds. This accounts for 2/3 of all his inheritance. Make a movie. Isn't it good to use this money to enjoy life? Pursuing dreams. That's really satisfying. Do you know how to make movies? Do you know how to market? Do you know how to choose actors and choreograph scripts? You know what the hell? As the saying goes, I'm not afraid of the second generation of wealthy people getting old, but I'm afraid of the second generation of wealthy people starting their own businesses. At this moment, Luo Ji has this idea. However, just as he was about to announce this decision, a mechanical sound suddenly rang in his ear. Ding! The World Film Project has been launched. Details. The host can randomly select a movie for filming. After filming is completed, the system will randomly select a portion of the rewards from the movie based on the sensation it causes and distribute them to the host. Current number of movie selections. 1. Is it a random selection? Luo Ji. The introduction of Golden Finger is very simple. In just a few seconds, Luo Ji understood the entire operating logic of the system. Make a movie. After the movie caused a sensation, depending on the impact effect, reward the items in the movie to him. Isn't that forcing me to make a movie? Luo Ji tugged at the corners of his mouth, intending to ignore the system, but whenever he thought about the rewards in those movies, he couldn't calm down at all. If it were to shoot a movie about the Emperor of Wilderness, the system would reward him with a willow god. Wouldn't that be so delightful? Cough. This is a bit of a daydream. Luo Ji withdrew his thoughts and turned to look at Zhao Ling, saying solemnly, I must do it. I must do it even if I smash the pot and sell iron. However, after a pause, Luo Ji began to select movies and said, I already have a goal regarding the script. What goal? Director Luo, you won't be fooled by those gloomy and unsuccessful screenwriters, will you? Zhao Ling was stunned for a moment and quickly asked. It is fortunate that the movie project did not go bankrupt, but if his own boss is tricked, his conscience will really suffer. Don't worry. Luo Ji shook his head, glanced at the system from the corner of his eye, and calmly said, since we can't find the script, let's write it ourselves. And, I have already written the script. Zhao Ling's expression froze. Afterwards, he hesitated and said, write it yourself. The script you wrote, Luo Dao. This. A script written by Luo Dao himself. It's better to be tricked by someone. At least. Those melancholic and unsuccessful screenwriters barely understand some literary creation. More importantly, Luo Ji is a director, an investor, and even more so, his director. What he decided. Zhao Ling doesn't even have room to interrupt, let alone advise the other party. So, what theme is the script you wrote, Director Luo? Zhao Ling swallowed his saliva and asked indirectly. Chapter 2. Three-Body Sailing. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Science fiction TV series. Facing Zhao Ling's inquiry, Luo Ji calmly said. Science fiction. Zhao Ling's tone was raised sharply, and with a thud, he was caught off guard and knocked over a nearby water glass. Sorry. Zhao Ling quickly lowered his head to tidy up the table, while his hands and feet were icy cold. Science fiction. As everyone knows. Currently, there is only one type of Chinese language film and television, which is urban idol romance drama, costume idol romance drama, suspense idol romance drama, immortal hero idol romance drama, criminal investigation idol romance drama anyway. Just 5 big characters. Idol romance dramas. As for science fiction, I don't even know which useless subject this horse stomping is from. Is it inappropriate to make this type of movie and suffer a huge loss? Even those world-class directors dare not easily shoot this genre. Is your own boss going to take photos? So. It's really a foolish adult with a lot of money as a gift boy. Director Luo. Zhao Ling wiped the cold sweat off his forehead, carrying his last hope in his heart, and cautiously said, Are you talking about a science fiction idol romance drama? Luo Ji. There are no idols in love. Luo Ji said with a black face. The assistant I recruited has been constantly urging him to shoot various love idol dramas since his first day in the group. In the other person's words. As long as you find a good traffic star, no matter how bad the script or acting skills are, you won't lose much money. It's a real hammer. My own boss really has a lot of money and wants to shoot a science fiction drama. Zhao Ling felt a chill in his heart, and for a moment, there was a feeling of wind blowing and water cold. This time. I'm really dead set. Have you finished writing your script? Zhao Ling wiped his cold sweat. If Luo Ji hasn't finished writing the script, he must add some romantic elements to it. When the time comes. Please invite 2 more traffic celebrities. Well, we can slightly guarantee the box office. Done. Luo Ji knew what the other person was thinking and said without a doubt, Stop talking nonsense. Hurry up and recruit crew members for me and contact actors for interviews. Zhao Ling has lost all hope. He turned his head like a walking corpse, intending to execute Luo Ji's orders. On the brink of leaving. He turned around and asked dryly, Director Luo, what should our crew be called? Name of the crew. Usually named after the script. Luo Ji has no intention of changing this either. The name is the Three-Body Drama Team. Luo Ji took a sip of hot tea and answered lightly. The Three-Body Problem. This is exactly the first movie that Luo Ji drew. After seeing this movie, Luo Ji completely dispelled the idea of making a complete loss and then relying on rewards to make a comeback. After all, the ratings of this film and television work have been tested by the market in their past lives and are absolutely guaranteed. More importantly, the rewards in this movie are absolutely generous. If you give Luo Ji a 2-way foil sorry. Starting from tomorrow, Luo Ji will be his ancestor. Steady. Luo Ji was extremely excited and had already started selecting the system's rewards. However, the system's reward seemed to be measured based on the level of sensation. Luo Ji suddenly thought of this, his eyes fixed, and he murmured, It seems like he really spent his money this time. He must spend money. Please hire top-notch acting stars to do the best pre-promotion and create the highest-level special effects scenes. Previous life. The investment capital for the first part of the three-body problem is 360 million yuan. Although Luo Ji is currently unable to make that much money, he can barely scrape together 200 million yuan by smashing the pot and selling iron. Although he has less funds, he has learned from his past experiences and can reduce some useless expenses. After slight improvements, it may not be impossible to produce a successful TV drama. Therefore, after Zhao Ling left, Luo Ji immediately opened his computer and began selecting character candidates. For the sensational effect of TV dramas, regular group performances can be accommodated, but the lead actors must strive for excellence. Especially in acting. Luo Ji doesn't want to ruin the big IP of Three-Body Problem, just because he found a few idle stars. Well, Wang Miao can let him play, Shi Chang will give him the role, as for Yi Wenjie, Shen Yufei. Fortunately, this world is not much different from his past life, and most of the actors have not changed, allowing Luo Ji to confidently choose a lead actor. As invitation letters were sent out one after another, the filming of The Three-Body Problem also began to slowly set sail. A few days later, under Luo Ji's attitude of investing heavily, the first batch of actors are starting to interview. Director Luo, this is teacher Yu Hui who is interviewing for the role of Shi Chang. In the crew of Three-Body Problem, Zhao Ling brought in a skinny male actor and introduced him to Luo Ji. Yu Hui. Long Hua is a famous and powerful male actor, who also played the role of Shi Chang in his past life. From an image perspective, Yu Hui is undoubtedly not suitable for the role of Shi Chang. After all, Shi Chang's prototype is a chubby person, while Yu Hui's image leans towards being lean and experienced, which is very different from the prototype. But I can't resist their acting skills. Although the image didn't quite match, he was stunned and portrayed the spirit of Shi Chang. This is also why Luo Ji chose him. Compared to appearance, he cares more about the acting skills of actors and the vitality of characters. Teacher Yu, welcome. Luo Ji welcomed him and greeted him with a smile. Hello, Director Luo. Yu Hui was also very enthusiastic, casually holding Luo Ji's outstretched hand and saying, Director, you must leave this role of Shi Chang for me. As long as you let me act, even if it's for zero pay, I'll accept it. Although Yu Hui smiled and said, his serious expression did not seem to be deceiving. Originally, according to his current position, it's difficult to hire an unknown director. And compared to remuneration, what he values more is the quality of the story itself. Therefore, after receiving a portion of the script passed by Luo Ji, Yu Hui immediately ran over without saying a word. Even if he acted for zero pay, he accepted it. Director Luo, to be honest. After a few people sat down, Yu Hui looked at the young Luo Ji with a serious expression and said, I have a feeling that if this Three-Body Problem is filmed well, perhaps the science fiction of the Dragon Kingdom will set sail from then on. Chapter 3. Alien Civilizations. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Yu Hui's evaluation is very high. Such a high evaluation directly confused Zhao Ling on the side. As the executive director of the Three-Body Problem crew, under Luo Ji's lewd influence, he can be said to have no say in the world. Therefore, even if all the preliminary matters of the production team are ready, and he, as the deputy director, has not even read the script. Even, he had no idea what the two characters, Three-Body Problem, represented. Therefore, when he learned that teacher Yu Hui was going to join the crew of The Three-Body Problem, Zhao Ling felt a bit overwhelmed. Is it possible for their startup crew to hire celebrities of this level who possess both traffic and acting skills? This is not scientific. This is science fiction. And at this moment, after hearing Yu Hui's evaluation, Zhao Ling felt even more sci-fi. Does this mean maybe we won't suffer too much this time? Is this script so good? Zhao Ling blinked his eyes, his heart itching uncontrollably. He wished he could immediately take a look at the script and see what medicine his boss was selling in his gourd. Unfortunately, he has no say. He can only hold it. Next up. After finalizing Yu Hui's role as Shi Chang, another batch of interviewees came one after another. Zhang Lui, Li Xiaoran, Wang Ziwen, and teacher Qin Jin. All of them are top-notch actors, those who possess both acting skills and popularity. Zhao Ling is completely dumbfounded. This kind of immortal lineup. This top-level configuration. Is it possible for a startup production team to hire them? Did they shoot a science fiction drama? No, this scene is already science fiction enough. Director Luo. Finally. When seeing another star, Ong Rong decided to play one of the small supporting role, Zhao Ordering finally couldn't help it. He looked at Luo Ji with a troubled expression and pleaded, Director Luo, can you let me see the script? I can't help it anymore. I really can't help it anymore. I'm just too curious. What kind of script is this to hire so many veteran actors from the acting school? Zhao Ling scratched his ears and cheeks, eager to snatch the script from Luo Ji's hands immediately. All right. Let me show you. Looking at Zhao Ling, who looked like a drug addict, Luo Ji helplessly waved his hand and threw the script on the table to him. Zhao Ling quickly took over the script and eagerly flipped through it. Half an hour later. Zhao Ling slowly lifted his head and gave Luo Ji a stiff thumbs up, Director Luo, I took it, I really took it. At this moment. What idle romance drama? What science fiction romance drama? Tong Tong was completely forgotten by Zhao Ling. Love. Go step on a horse for love. If labor and management want to shoot science fiction. Who's going to shoot that bloody love drama? Have you taken it? Luo Ji raised his eyebrows and impatiently said, if you're done, hurry up and prepare for me. Tomorrow at the latest, I want to see that all the props on the set are ready. Next week at the latest, filming must start. Luo Ji spoke sternly. This time. Zhao Ling never left the gloomy villa again. He said with enthusiasm and energy, Director Luo, don't worry, even if I don't sleep tonight, I have to prepare all the facilities. If you don't believe me, I can issue a military order. At this moment, Zhao Ling is full of passion. However, just as he was about to leave, Luo Ji suddenly stopped him and said, wait, does this TV drama have to go through the approval process before it can be aired? Luo Ji looked at the new film and television regulations announced online and asked with a furrowed brow. Follow the process above. Movies, from application for registration, to preparation, to filming, to review, and finally to finalization. Even if it takes 2 or 3 years, they may not be able to be broadcasted. This is too slow. There's another way. After careful consideration for a moment, Zhao Ling replied. This reflects his professionalism. As a person who has been struggling in the film and television industry for decades, he knows all the processes from filming to broadcasting of film and television works, including various audit details. Oh. Tell me more specifically. Luo Ji became interested. Actually, in foreign countries, there has always been a popular mode of filming and broadcasting TV dramas at the same time. This mode is to synchronize the already filmed plot during the TV drama shooting process and play it on the TV station, thereby saving a lot of process time. This mode has both advantages and disadvantages. The advantage is that it can facilitate the crew's handling of the subsequent plot, and also facilitate the TV station to cut off the program at any time when the revenue is not good. In addition, this mode poses a major challenge to the technical conditions and the overall adaptation level of the production team. Zhao Ling patiently explained the advantages and disadvantages of this model to Luo Ji, and then advised, Director Luo, I don't mind using this model too much. After all, this is a science fiction drama. Although I have confidence in the script, if the early ratings are not good. Zhao Ling didn't finish speaking, but the meaning was already very clear. If the ratings are not good, the TV station is likely to directly cut off their programs. For a startup crew, this is definitely an irrational choice. Zhao Ling nodded and listened to the other person's opinion before asking, can we adopt this model domestically? Upon hearing this, Zhao Ling had a bitter smile on his face. It is obvious that our boss has listened to his opinion, but clearly does not intend to adopt his opinion. It's possible. Zhao Ling replied honestly, actually, this model has already been implemented in the past 2 years, and that popular Langya list used this model. Well, I got it. Zhao Ling nodded and then waved his hand to signal the other party to leave. Director Luo. Zhao Ling is now standing still and hesitating to speak, his expression clearly showing some concern. However, finally, he sighed and turned around to leave. There's no way. He is the boss, and he is the final say. At the same time, in the distant starry sky, 2 protons are rapidly crossing endless galaxies and heading towards a azure planet. These 2 protons have a very fast speed, and in just a moment, they have crossed an extremely terrifying distance. And at its current speed, the distance to reach that azure planet is already within reach. P.S. The new book sets sail, Seeking Data. Chapter 4. All humanity belongs to a kind of chance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 1 month later. On the internet. A sudden promotional short film caught everyone's attention. Whether it is Douyin short video, microblog, or the so-called internet toilet post bar. All of them were overnight, with many more relevant pieces of information added. In the shortest possible time, it reached the top of the hot search list and caught the attention of almost all netizens. It can be called full of trench air. The title of this promotional short film is even more resounding, and the gimmicks it uses catch the attention of a group of onlookers. The Dawn of Dragon Kingdom science fiction world. The ceiling of Dragon Kingdom science fiction films. It has never appeared before and will never happen again. It is the pinnacle of science fiction since the 20th century. It has become the world's first science fiction film, a hit on the so-called Eagle Sauce Country science fiction film, not only the pinnacle, but also the masterpiece. The pinnacle of science fiction. These titles. One louder than the other, one louder than the other. Unknowingly fierce. And after seeing these titles, netizens have surprisingly consistent attitudes. First sneered, then looked down upon, and finally, half believing and half doubting, clicked on the promotional video. A certain university campus in the Magic City. Within the Film and Television Enthusiast Association. A group of energetic and vibrant young people are sitting together, discussing many recently promoted movies and TV shows. Oh my goodness, love movies, or love movies. Besides love movies, wouldn't Dragon Country make any other movies or TV dramas? Are those screenwriters' minds only filled with emotions and love? A capable girl with short hair, after seeing a lot of recent films, said Roast. The current film and television industry in Dragon Country. Love can be said to occupy 90% of the country. It's not a costume idol romance film, it's a city idol romance film, or a fantasy idol romance film. Anyway. Love, or love on horseback. This situation has also caused a group of movie enthusiasts to suffer unbearably, digging for feces and eating in various garbage piles. It's really. There's no way to support domestic production. That's right. Another man spoke up and spoke in agreement with the short-haired girl's statement, you say this group of trash. If they really make a romantic action film, I still respect them as men. Every day. They will use the guise of a romantic film to buy faces. What's the difference between selling meat? Hear the words. The short-haired girl who first spoke was taken aback, then spat at him fiercely and cursed, "Song, are you the only one with those vocabulary in your mind when you step on a horse? Is it a love action movie? Do you believe that I kicked you to death?" Cough. I admit my mistake, I regret it. The man quickly admitted, afraid that this female hero who had been practicing free combat since childhood would perform a martial arts scene for him on the spot. "Huh, you too, old song. You die in front of her all day long, sooner or later you don't know how to die." The onlookers burst out laughing and mocked the man's surnamed Song. Suddenly, the scene was extremely joyful. At this moment, a chubby man holding his phone suddenly let out a soft sigh and said, "Brothers, here is a newly released TV drama that's not even a romantic movie." And the chubby guy paused and then said, "The tone of this TV series is really strong, The Hope of the Dragon Kingdom science fiction world. Oh, the title is so hilarious. Hear the words. Everyone calm down." Next second, Chi Shuasha let out a chuckling sound. A man leaned over and said, "The Hope of the Dragon Kingdom science fiction world. It's really amazing. Come on, let me, this encyclopedia of science fiction movies, help you appreciate it. Do you have promotional videos?" "Yes, it's right here." The chubby guy quickly clicked the button for the promotional video. Next second, a roaring sound effect appears in the classroom. "Let's compromise, let's also see what deserves the Hope of the Dragon Kingdom science fiction world. That's right, let's also admire it." "Ha! Xiaoqi, are you a sharp-tongued film critic also here? Aren't you afraid to spray people's hopes for the science fiction world of the Dragon Kingdom and shut them down?" "Ha ha ha, don't worry, I have been cultivating myself for many years, and I have long stopped criticizing others." Upon hearing the sound of the promotional video, everyone approached curiously while chatting and laughing. Although most of the voices are mocking and contemptuous. But I have to say, although the promotional title sounded loud, it also attracted their curiosity. Soon, everyone gathered together, looking at the promotional video that claimed to be the light of science fiction in a daze. And at this moment, the first line suddenly echoed in their ears. Have you ever experienced significant changes in your life, accompanied by deep music and dialogue? A man in a military uniform and a man who is clearly a scientific practitioner are walking together in a narrow and dark passage. The conversation is continuing. No. Then your life belongs to a kind of chance. But aren't most people like this? So, most of life belongs to a kind of chance. So many generations before that, they all lived in such a mundane way. It's all by chance. The entire human world is accidental. A highly philosophical and dialectical statement slowly appeared in everyone's ears. In an instant, everyone is quiet now. Even in the classroom rented by the entire Film and Television Enthusiast Association, everyone is silent. You can smell the needle falling. Chapter 5: Eliminating Human Tyranny. The world belongs to the three-body problem. You are listening at Novel Full.audio. The entire human world is accidental. This highly dialectical philosophical line has been echoing in the classroom for a long time. Calm with shock. Speculation exudes a domineering aura. It has a long-lasting aftertaste, and the more I think about it, the more I feel shocked. Although it was just a brief and calm conversation, it made their goosebumps stand up. Cold is everywhere. This is a bit interesting. Someone stuttered and said, their eyes filled with surprise and shock, their voice trembling with excitement. It's the man who claims to be the encyclopedia of science fiction. It's really different from those science fiction movies that make money. The film critic named Xiaoqi nodded and agreed with the same solemn expression. The current science fiction film and television industry belongs to the niche and can be considered the most obscure type in the film and television industry. And most of them are the kind of dog poop works that are bombarded, flashy, and then piled up with special effects. For example, the Magic Fortress that was released 2 years ago can be said to have blinded the eyes of a large audience. It's already the end of the world, and there's intense fighting. Do you still need to tidy up your bangs while riding a horse? Treading on a horse is outrageous. But what about this promotional video? There is no fighting with a laser gun, no flashy appearances of popular celebrities, and even there is no weapon that surpasses the current level of technology. But that's it. Just relying on a few conversations. It creates a mysterious and heavy atmosphere. It's chilling. If I'm not mistaken, this actor is Lin Yongjian and Jean-Louis, right? Someone chuckled and said, these two are both famous acting artists. What kind of crew can hire them? Please have some fresh meat, even if it's a big brand of fresh meat, they won't be surprised. After all, as long as you spend enough money, little fresh meat doesn't care what kind of drama to shoot. But some old artists are not something you can hire with money. It seems that this TV drama should be about a sudden change that interrupts humanity's ordinary life. At this moment, someone pondered over those 2 lines and guessed. Hear the words. Everyone also agreed, it should be like this, but I don't know if it's the end of the world or if the city is surrounded by zombies. It could also be a biological mutation, mechanical troops. TSK. It could also be super mutants like Iron Man and Spider-Man. Everyone was discussing with all their mouths and tongues. The end of the world, zombie siege, mechanical forces, biological mutations. These are basically the themes of all science fiction films at present. All directors are basically focusing on these topics, telling different stories. According to their speculation, this three-body problem is likely to be the same work. This is really extremely helpless. Stop talking. You all stop talking nonsense. Hurry up and continue watching the promotional video. Finally, the short-haired girl couldn't help but urge everyone to discuss. She snatched the phone from the fat man's hand and clicked the continue playing button. Next second, the screen that was just paused was played back again. Accompanied by deep and oppressive sound effects, frame-by-frame images appear in front of everyone. An astrophysicist who believes that physics no longer exists as soon as it was played, it surprised everyone again. Physics no longer exists. What does this mean? What about the agreed apocalypse, zombie siege, mutated monsters, and mechanical forces? Physics no longer exists. Are you doing this for me? The promotional video is still ongoing. 3 days later, on the 14th, from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m. the entire universe will twinkle for you, everyone. The entire universe will twinkle for you. What is this horse riding for? Which science fiction movie would make it like this? Cosmic scintillation. Are you a science fiction movie or a fantasy movie? You dare to think when you step on a horse. Okay, if you don't explain clearly what cosmic flicker is, labor and management will have to go and smash your crew. The dialogue on the promotional video is still ongoing. The chilling lines echoed throughout the entire classroom. What exactly is the end of the countdown? Physics no longer exists, it's just that the physics we believe no longer exists, it may not exist. Are you talking about the Lord, a person, or a group of people? Eliminate human tyranny, the world belongs to the three-body. 7 minutes later. The promotional video has finally come to an end. The whole classroom is silent. It's been a long time. Finally, someone opened their mouth and said, "What do you think of the promotional video for this TV series? How to evaluate it?" Everyone's eyes twitched and turned to look at the person asking the question. Next second. The man, who claimed to be the encyclopedia of science fiction, slammed the table and cut off the railway with his nails. What do you think? Of course we're just looking with our eyes, he said. I'll leave it here. No one can stop me from watching this TV drama this year. Whoever stops is my enemy. Everyone. Chapter 6. The Emergence of Extraterrestrial Civilization Information. You are listening at Novel Full. Audio. It is indeed a good work. Worth a step. The president of the Film Enthusiasts Association, holding his chin, also gave the same evaluation as that person. However, compared to the person's vulgar supportive remarks, the president's comments are much more professional. From the perspective of promotional videos, this is undoubtedly a successful one. All kinds of hooks, suspense, lines can be considered top-notch. Human society is a coincidence. Physics no longer exists. This series of lines is also very appealing to people's desire to watch movies. However, I'm afraid this is also a gimmick TV drama. The president of the Film Association pondered deeply. A gimmick movie. This is also a new way of promoting movies recently. In layman's terms, the promotional video is so explosive that the content is as rotten as shit. The original way of this model. It can be said that the most essence of the whole film is also in the promotional film. Therefore, it has also caused a large part of the audience's aversion. No. I have a premonition. This movie is definitely not that kind of gimmick TV drama. The man surnamed Song stood up and said with great certainty. There was no intense fighting throughout, only a sci-fi atmosphere rendered with various lines. He didn't believe this kind of movie would be a gimmick. Fatty guy, when will this TV series start airing? The person he asked was currently flipping through the official website of The Three-Body Problem. Upon hearing this, he looked up and replied, the day after tomorrow, at 7 p.m. on Friday, it will premiere on the entire website. Okay. The man surnamed Song clapped his hand fiercely and said, the night after tomorrow, you all stay together. If this TV drama is well filmed, from now on, I will be the director's loyal fan. If it's not done well. Humph, Xiaoqi, come with me and post him on Weibo. Xiaoqi. It is the film critic known for his sharp tongue. Hear the words. Xiaoqi nodded and patted his chest, promising, don't worry, I'm a professional in spraying people. At the same time. Not only the Magic City Film Association. After watching the promotional video of The Three-Body Problem, the entire network began to stir up extensive discussions. After all, under Luo Ji's money attack. Whether it's Douyin, Weibo, or Tushio, or even Tieba and Xiaohongshu, which claim to be male and female toilets, are all covered in advertisements for The Three-Body Problem. Therefore, this TV series, which has not yet started broadcasting, is constantly sparking various discussions on the internet with a momentum of starting a prairie fire. At this moment, under the official Weibo account of The Three-Body Problem, it has already been dominated by many netizens who have heard of it. Sleeping trough, awesome, the whole human society is accidental. I have already ignited this line. Eliminating human tyranny, the world belongs to the three-body. So, are the three-body the last villain? Well, the TV series is also called The Three-Body, which is really off-topic. Am I the only one who noticed that the cast lineup is so luxurious? Lin Yongjian, Yu Hui, as well as Yang Rong and Li Xiaoran. This lineup is no less than the lineup of the annual masterpiece. Tut tut tut, upstairs is shallow. My uncle is the photographer of the Three-Body drama team, let me just say so. Every supporting role in it is at least a second-tier entertainer in the entertainment industry, and the leading actor is all old actors. Sigh. How much investment does this lineup need? It takes the three major film and television companies to have the capital to shoot. Wait, the director's name is Luo Ji. Why haven't I heard of him before? Do the three major film and television companies have this director? Sleeping slot. Sleeping slot. Sleeping slot. I just heard about the news from the three-body drama crew, and this news is so explosive that you can't believe it. The director of the Trisolarans crew is actually a wealthy second generation, and he still smashed the pot and sold the iron, spending 200 million yuan to make it. What? Rich second generation. Smashing the pot and selling iron, spending 200 million yuan. Wow. Bully, I didn't know for a moment. Should I say he was a dream chaser or a spendthrift? Whether it's pursuing dreams with a childish heart or being a spendthrift, after the TV series airs, you will naturally understand. Hiss, no wonder the quality can be so high. It's a dream-chasing journey for the second generation of wealthy people. Nyobi, I have already moved the melon seed stool and am ready to watch the play. Watching a play +1. Watching a play +1. On the internet. With the fermentation of time, there are more and more discussions about the trisomy. Countless people are enthusiastic and want to see what this TV drama, known as The Light of the Dragon Kingdom science fiction world, is really like. Of course. Most of those who have this kind of mood are science fiction movie enthusiasts and experienced netizens. But in life, after all, there are some other professionals who don't pay much attention to online entertainment. These people. Compared to online entertainment, what we care more about is some big events that affect the whole world. For example, Eagle Sauce Country, inside the second Red Rock base, aboard the Judge ship. A group of researchers wearing white coats are constantly walking back and forth, with tense expressions on their faces, eagerly busy on the instruments. Suddenly, a researcher stopped his hand movements and suddenly looked up, exclaiming, "We have received the news, we have finally received the news of an alien civilization. Hurry up and notify the leader. The frequency feedback of the band is out, hurry up and notify the leader." Research room. A series of exclamations followed one after another. Countless people walk back and forth, constantly conveying this explosive message. Chapter 7. Welcoming the Three-Body Civilization. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In an hour, a large number of top researchers are gathered in front of a huge communication instrument. Instrument indicator lights flicker continuously, like brilliant fireworks, heralding the arrival of a new era. And at the forefront, he is a European and American man with a hawk nose and hawk eyes, and a thin face. At this moment, he had an excited expression and was staring intently at the newly translated information about extraterrestrial civilizations. Because I'm too excited. He even began to tremble slightly in his hands and feet, his entire heart beating wildly as if out of control. Boom. Click wipe, click wipe. At this moment, the sound of instrument operation affects everyone's vision. Countless people are focused, their eyes fixed on the printed A4 paper. They all showed excitement, as if witnessing a ceremony that could change the world. Alien civilization. This is a reply from an alien civilization. We have received a response from the Master. The Lord has finally heard our prayers. Leader Evans was so excited that his mouth was dry and his murmuring voice echoed continuously in the research room. 3 planets in 3-body motion. Is this the environment where the Lord lives? Civilization evolution. Higher technology, higher civilization society. Sure enough. This is the Lord I've been dreaming of. A master who can bring the future to Blue Star and create a comfortable space for Blue Star. Evans slowly took the paper recording the extraterrestrial civilization, turned around, and looked at the same excited researcher as him. Ladies and gentlemen, our call has finally been answered by the Lord. Just now, the the 2 protons emitted by the Trisolarans civilization have crossed distant galaxies and arrived at the blue star. The dawn of dawn has already begun to appear. He swallowed his saliva, raised his right hand, and shouted loudly, "Eliminate human tyranny, the world belongs to the 3-body." In an instant, countless members of the organization cheered and shouted excitedly, "Eliminate human tyranny, the world belongs to the 3-body. Eliminate human tyranny, the world belongs to the 3-body. Eliminate human tyranny, the world belongs to the 3-body. Eliminate humanity." Screams echoed in the research room one after another. Long-lasting. Until Evans clenched his fists fiercely to stop the thunderous roar of the mountain collapse. The shouting has come to a halt. After a moment, Evans said again, "Gentlemen, ladies. I have decided to use the technology and information of the 3-body civilization to create a science fiction game called 3-body. Its existence is not only to help us better understand the Lord's world, but also to help us connect, understand, and accept ambitious people from all corners of the world who hope to change the world. This matter is urgent. For those human elites who recognize and understand the Lord, we should open up our generous embrace and dine with them. And for those stubborn individuals who resist, oppose, and are stubborn." Evans's voice paused, and then he looked at the many researchers present and said again, "Guys. Our mission has just begun. We can't stop, we can't stop. We must welcome the arrival of the Lord with the highest etiquette and the loudest shout. Welcome. The arrival of the 3-body civilization. Director Luo, Director Luo." At the same time, within the crew of 3-Body Problem, Zhao Ling was running up to Luo Ji and said to his bitter mother, "Director Luo, we just finished filming the first 3 episodes. You're going to air it now. Isn't this too hasty? We haven't even had a chance to review it yet. If the results are not ideal, then the funds we invested before will really go down the drain. During this period, Zhao Ling is really going to be crushed by his own boss's misbehavior. How could he have just set up a production team and gone to negotiate broadcasting matters with the TV station? How could there be a promotional video that hasn't officially started filming yet? Okay. If all of this is acceptable. When they had just finished filming the promotional video and were preparing to shoot the main feature, why did you start the regular broadcast? Are you rushing to meet the deadline? You are clearly rushing to the grave. Who can withstand your moans?" Regarding Zhao Ling's concerns, Luo Ji appeared very calm and waved his hand, saying, "No need, I believe in you. Don't worry, shoot boldly, there won't be any problem." Zhao Ling. "I don't even believe in myself, how dare you believe it?" Beside him, a group of people, including Yu Hui, who followed over to persuade the actor, also looked at each other in confusion, unsure of what to do. Originally, they thought they had picked out a good script that could climb a new peak in their entertainment career. But under Luo Ji's rough handling, they are also starting to be uncertain. Why is this crew so weird? How could someone who has only been on the set for a month and is eager to play it? I know, director, you are a newcomer. But you can't be so new. Director Luo, Zhao Ling wanted to admonish him a few more words, but Luo Ji impatiently interrupted him, "Stop talking nonsense, you guys hurry up and take photos. As for the results, once the first episode is aired, everything will naturally be clear." Zhao Ling and everyone looked at each other. Sigh. Finally, they could only shake their heads helplessly and nervously turn around and leave. This damn crew. It will be finished sooner or later. After he leaves, Luo Ji was watching the first 3 episodes of 3-Body Problem that had just been filmed, rubbing his hands and smiling with joy on his face. There are still 2 days left. He will be able to extract rewards from this in just 2 days. Wait until the shoot is finished before playing. Ha! Just kidding. At that time, even the yellow cauliflower was cold. Steady. This wave is stable. After reviewing the first 3 episodes of The Three-Body Problem and confirming that there were no major issues, Luo Ji finally nodded with satisfaction. Two-way foil, interstellar navigation technology, water droplet principle. The reward is already waving to him. Chapter 8. Coincidence, absolutely all coincidences. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Deputy Director Zhao, is there really no problem with our drama? 2 days later. There are still a few hours until the release of Three-Body Problem. Several leading actors sat together during the break, expressing their concerns about the Three-Body Problem play with great concern. Without a doubt. The Three-Body Problem is definitely excellent. Even to describe it as a science fiction masterpiece is not an exaggeration. For such excellent works, many actors have also put in 100% passion, wishing they could come up with tricks in every detail. But I can't bear it. The director played even more extravagantly. This set of simultaneous filming and broadcasting operations really blinded the eyes of a group of actors. They have just finished researching the character script and have just filmed a few episodes. Are they ready for release over there? Not even a pre-release press conference. Do you want to be so hasty? Shouldn't. Maybe. Probably. There shouldn't be any problem. Zhao Ling moved his buttocks and responded to the inquiries of several actors with a guilty heart. We believe that everyone has read the quality of our script. It's not an exaggeration, this is definitely the best science fiction work in recent years. We need to have confidence. As long as you shoot well, you can win any big prize. As Zhao Ling spoke, in order to prove that what he said was true, he stood up and pointed towards this year's Golden Rooster Film Award. See this situation. Yu Hui and others are half believing and half doubting, seriously suspecting that the most insecure person here is Zhao Ling. But after all, they are old actors, and they also have their own standards for measuring a work. In the first 3 episodes, they didn't do a bad job. Even if it's urgent to release, the results are still guaranteed. Therefore, they didn't get too caught up in this question either, but asked, should we wait until after the premiere and adjust the shooting details slightly based on the audience's reaction? This is their biggest concern. The Three-Body Problem is an excellent work, there is definitely nothing to say about the plot. But the key issue is that the production time is too short, and the actors are not even sure if there are any problems with their performance. Therefore, they want to pause filming first, wait for feedback from netizens, and then consider whether to make some character changes. This is also a common problem among veteran actors. They care more about the quality of the work and the effect presented in front of the screen. If it were a popular celebrity, I would probably wish to end filming earlier and get paid for it sooner. No need. The issues raised by the actors are also one of Zhao Ling's concerns. However, he had already asked his own boss about this question and received an accurate answer. What Director Luo means is, let's just shoot, he will help us control it. Zhao Ling's eyebrows were filled with worries, but he still answered honestly, we just need to execute Director Luo's orders honestly. Who makes him both a screenwriter, an investor, and a chief director. The more Zhao Ling thought, the more helpless he became. He was just a poor worker. What could he do? Upon hearing this, although everyone had anticipated it earlier, they could only sigh and then continue to ask, can everyone take a look at the effect of today's release? This time, Zhao Ling did not refuse. He stood up and dialed Luo Ji's phone. In 3 minutes. He returned to the crowd and announced, Director Luo said, since everyone has this idea, let's temporarily stop filming for half a day and take a look at the results of this month's busy schedule. By the way, Director Luo also said that he has reserved seats for everyone at Xiaoxiang Pavilion, so that after watching the premiere, we can also go there to have a gathering and exchange our filming experiences with each other. Okay. After receiving a satisfactory response, Yu Hui and others breathed a sigh of relief and smiled one by one, saying, Xiaoxiang Pavilion. That's a famous private kitchen restaurant in Sichuan. Director Luo has really invested a lot of money this time. Yeah, but we've been filming for so long, can't we still enjoy it? You say so, teacher Yu Hui. Yu Hui. Then let's continue playing music and continue dancing. After filming for so long, I still can't enjoy it. This is the meme that spread during his filming of The Romance of the Three Kingdoms. By the way, after everyone was excited, Li Xiaoran, who played Shen Yufei, looked up and asked in confusion, where did director Luo go today? I can't even see his figure at the premiere dinner. After hesitating for a moment, Zhao Ling said truthfully, director Luo's former mentor committed suicide. He went to the United States to pay his respects to him. Director Luo's mentor. Upon hearing this, everyone looked surprised. Zhao Ling shook his head with a hint of regret on his face and said solemnly, Director Luo transferred to the film and television major halfway through. He had previously studied physics in the United States under the renowned Professor Feynman in the physics department. Professor Feynman. That Professor Feynman who studies quantum mechanics. Actor Yang Rong was taken aback. She had heard of this name during her study abroad, and this is one of Blue Star's top scientific experts. Suicide. Did such a big event happen during their filming? Well, it's him. Zhao Ling nodded and said heavily. In an instant. Everyone was somewhat silent. Without a doubt. The suicide of such a great scientist is a great loss for the entire human race. Even if they were just a group of ordinary people, they would still mourn for it. Speaking. Suddenly. Actor Lin Yongjian's expression was taken aback, as if he had thought of something. With a strange expression, he said, in the script of The Three-Body Problem, among the group of scientists who committed suicide, there seems to be a physicist named Monfei. Monfei. Feynman. This. Everyone was stunned for a moment. In the script of The Three-Body Problem, although Professor Monfei only appears as a back figure, he is a pedestrian armor that is easily overlooked. But he is Yang Dong's teacher. Yang Dong is one of the key characters throughout the entire Three-Body Problem. This coincidence, remember this. Everyone's expressions gradually became strange, and they looked at Zhao Ling with questioning eyes. Cough cough. Coincidence, this is definitely a coincidence. Zhao Ling coughed lightly and quickly defended Luo Ji. By the way, there shouldn't be a classmate named Yang Dong among Luo Ji's senior sisters, right? Yang Rong blinked and asked again. Zhao Ling. I don't think so. Don't ask, don't ask. If you ask again. I'm starting to panic. P.S. The data is too bad, please ask for the data. Chapter 9. Strange Yang Yen. You are listening at novelfull.audio. At the same time. Inside the U.S. airport. Luo Ji hung up the phone and, following the flow of people, stepped onto a foreign land. Soon. Luo Ji walked out of the airport and onto the street, waving for a taxi while rubbing his temples, feeling exhausted inside. Hiss. How did these two things come together? Today is the premiere day of The Three-Body Problem. As a director, he should have been sitting in front of the screen, ready for the lottery at any time. But unfortunately, his former mentor unfortunately passed away. As his former disciple, Luo Ji couldn't have thought he didn't know and turned a blind eye. So, he could only reject all interviews and boarded a plane flying to the United States. Professor Feynman. Sigh. As soon as he thought of his mentor, Luo Ji couldn't help but sigh, and a sense of sadness gradually rose in his heart. In Luo Ji's memory. Although he only studied under Professor Feynman for 2.5 years, it must be said that he was a very kind old man. Even Luo Ji's dream of being a director was facilitated by Feynman. At that time, Luo Ji, under the guidance of his parents, chose a physics that he was not very interested in and then became a disciple of Feynman. However, Feynman did not reprimand his disciple for academic misconduct after realizing that Luo Ji was absent-minded. On the contrary, he encouraged Luo Ji to pursue his dreams, seek his own value, and pursue his own life. And in order to facilitate Luo Ji's dream of becoming a director, he even introduced him to his friends at his art college and assisted Luo Ji in completing the transfer procedures. This is a true teacher. A teacher on the road of life. Therefore, emotional and rational. Luo Ji needs to go and visit. The old man is living well. How could he be so upset that he suddenly committed suicide? At this point, Luo Ji's eyebrows furrowed slightly and his heart was slightly blocked. Suicide. A highly educated top scientist. How could one easily commit suicide? Emotional injury. Impossible. The old man is already at that age, how could he have the energy to experience another wave of emotional trauma? Is that a career setback? It's also impossible. The old man is an honorary scientist of the royal family in the United States, and on the road to becoming a scholar, he has basically come to an end. Such a big shot with both fame and fortune, where did his career setbacks come from? Is that murder? Luo Ji raised an eyebrow and then dispelled the idea. Although the US police may not know if they are respectful or professional, if Professor Feynman is really a murder, there cannot be no news at all. So, Professor Feynman should have committed suicide. But the reason for suicide, Luo Ji felt a headache as he thought about it. He knocked on his temple and said irritably, "It's impossible to lose faith in physics like in the three-body problem." Afterwards, Luo Ji couldn't help but laugh at himself again. He really wants to be fascinated by the three-body problem, whereas there's so much physics that doesn't exist. This is too bullshit. If Professor Feynman committed suicide because physics did not exist, what about the three-body civilization? Do you have the ability to bring it out too? If that's really the case, don't be a director, let's just become a prophet. At this point, Luo Ji smiled and shook his head, then got into the taxi he had called in and didn't think about these messy things anymore. A few hours later, outside Hailot Cemetery, Luo Ji held a bouquet of flowers bought for mourning, dressed in a pure black dress, and got off the taxi. Afterwards, he walked straight to the funeral staff and began to register his identity. At this moment, a familiar voice, like a cold and clear spring, came from behind Luo Ji. "Brother Luo, long time no see." Luo Ji turned around and saw a figure with a cold, elegant and distant appearance, which caught his eye. "Miss Xiaoyang, you're also here." Luo Ji was taken aback and quickly walked over, saying in surprise, "Aren't you conducting research on particle colliders in the Beishan Research Laboratory?" To his knowledge, it seems that the research of Miss Xiaoyang is in a critical stage and may break through the current research barriers in physics at any time. I didn't expect it. Even she came. And it seems that she came earlier than herself. However, before Luo Ji could finish speaking, the cold woman shook her head and said with a complex expression, "The experiment is over." "It's over." Luo Ji was stunned for a moment, glanced at the other person's expression, and hesitated. The experiment failed. Yang Yan nodded, her expression devoid of sadness or joy, as if neither the departure of her mentor nor the failure of the experiment had caused any ripples on her face. She is terrifyingly calm. But Luo Ji, who is familiar with the other party, knows. At this moment, Yang Yan. Very abnormal. Luo Ji's gaze twitched slightly, then he chuckled softly and said, "Sister Yang, it's been a long time since we last met. How about we have a few drinks after the funeral? Yang Jianni frowned slightly and shook her head. Brother Luo, I'll wait a moment. Before she could refuse, Luo Ji continued, moreover, junior brother, I just filmed a science fiction TV drama and it premiered today. I would like to ask for your help to review it. Comment on TV dramas. As soon as these words were spoken, the words that Yang Yan had originally intended to refuse immediately stopped on his lips. If it were a casual conversation, Yang Yan would definitely refuse. But the little junior brother who reunited after a long separation asked her for help. Yang Xian couldn't find a reason to refuse. Finally, Yang Ting nodded and replied, let's talk about it after the funeral. Chapter 10. Nature, Never Nature. You are listening at novelfull.audio. I don't know when. The sky began to drizzle like a needle and thread. In front of Hailot Cemetery, a group of people dressed in black formal attire stood silently in front of the tombstone, staring at the smiling old man in the photo. The funeral was held in the church. And now, the final funeral and mourning ceremony is already underway. The funeral process is different from that of Dragon Country. The funeral of the Dragon Kingdom is quite solemn, serious, and also pays attention to grandeur. But the Western funeral ceremony is either particularly quiet or particularly relaxed, presenting a clear polarization situation. And the funeral that Luo Ji attended clearly belonged to the former. Everyone is very quiet. One by one, they walked forward to offer condolences to the relatives of the deceased, and then expressed their condolences. The same goes for Luo Ji. He held a bouquet of flowers in his hand, with a heavy face, and accompanied the crowd to offer flowers, mourn, and pray to his mentor Professor Feynman after everything is over. He just returned to the edge position again. I heard. Did the teacher commit suicide? Luo Ji returned to the crowd, glanced at Yang Yan, and asked in a low voice. It's suicide. Yang Yan's gaze flickered, and then he calmly replied, the reason is. Luo Ji looked sideways at the most famous Miss Yang, feeling vaguely in his heart that the other party should know the reason for Professor Feynman's suicide. After all, among the disciples, Professor Feynman's most beloved and proud student is Miss Xiaoyang. Unlike Luo Ji, who transferred midway through the process, Yang Gui, this senior sister, was a genius physicist template from the beginning. At the age of 18, he was admitted to Imperial College of Technology. At the age of 20, he began his master's and doctoral studies. At the age of 23, he joined the Beishan Research Laboratory. At the age of 25, he became a globally renowned scientist. Therefore, in terms of entry-level seniority, when Luo Ji joined Professor Feynman's team, Yang Gui had already become a teaching assistant, helping Professor Feynman teach his younger brother. But in terms of age, Luo Ji is the same age as her again. A senior sister who is the same age as him, but 2 terms older than them. This is very awkward. And this is also the reason why Luo Ji called her Xiaoyang senior sister. Brother Luo. I remember. You only studied physics for 2 years and then transferred to the film academy, right? At this moment, Yang Yan suddenly turned his head and asked an unrelated question. Compared to cold physical numbers, perhaps I prefer a humanistic sentiment with warmth. Luo Ji answered calmly. Yang Yan remained noncommittal and asked, what do you think of physics? Physics is one of the foundations of modern science, and it is a key for all humanity to understand the world. Luo Ji frowned and was not quite clear about the meaning of Yang Yan's question. He only answered ambiguously, without physics, there would be no industrial society for humanity today. So, Yang Ting paused for a moment, his voice becoming somewhat deep. What if physics doesn't exist anymore? Luo Ji. What do you mean by this question? Wait. Let me stroke it, let me stroke it. Your name is Yang. Your teacher's name is Feynman. Do you still have an aunt named Wenjia? Oh my goodness, see you. For a moment, Luo Ji almost thought he had traveled to the three-body world. Fortunately, he immediately realized that the early-era background of the three-body world was in 2007, not the current 2017. Almost. I almost doubt life. Luo Ji's heart was pounding, and it took him a long time to finally reshape his almost shattered worldview once again. It's okay. This is not a three-body world. Luo Ji let out a breath and his mood calmed down again. No problem, he holds on. However, even so, the expression on Luo Ji's face was still very strange. There's no way. The killing power of Yang Yan's question is too powerful. Physics no longer exists. This is simply a question of the soul in the world of the three-body problem. Especially in the first installment. It can be called asking who died, the ultimate curse. After a moment of contemplation, he finally turned his head and replied to Yang Yan, physics has never existed, or rather. What exists is only human physics. Yang Yan was taken aback at the words, then his gaze shifted and he fell into a long silence. This is Yi Wenjia's answer to Wang Miao in The Three-Body Problem. After making some modifications, Luo Ji gave it to Yang Miao. Now, can you tell me why the teacher committed suicide? Luo Ji asked again in a low voice. At this moment, he really wants to know the cause of Feynman's death. If he also died because physics didn't exist, then he would really start to panic. However, Yang Yan still didn't answer the question directly, but whispered, yes, what exists is just human physics. Just like nature is never natural. Luo Ji. Sister. Stop talking. You made me panic. This horse stomping is Yang Dong's line, not your line from Yang Gue. Brother Luo. At this moment, Yang Yan turned his head and showed a curious expression for the first time. He asked, you said before. Is this movie you made a science fiction theme? Can you tell me what type of science fiction genre you are shooting?